I'm here with Wesley head coach Mike Drass as we wrap up the spring practice for the Wesley College Wolverines. And, Coach, after 3 straight appearances in the national semifinals, now how do you feel this team is going as you get ready to get set for what will feel like July will be tomorrow?
I mean, spring's gone really fast, and our kids have done a great job. And I think we really had an interesting situation where we've had some, well, I guess we've always had really good seniors, for the last 5 years, and every year people have to step up and step in for those guys. So it's interesting because in spring ball is your first taste of seeing guys step up and assume roles. And we saw that at linebacker here in the spring, and we had so much depth at receiver. We were able to take a couple guys from offense and move them over to defense, and that really worked out well. And for us, it's an interesting dynamic, because when guys are given the opportunity to play, we've been fortunate to see guys have great success.
Well, let's talk about one of your newly named captains, Kirk Brooks, who's going to have to take over along with Sustin Capapula as 2 of the big names in the linebacking core. Talk about what you've seen from Kirk from when we last saw him at Mount Union to what you saw in the practice fields here in Dover.
Kirk, his first couple of years here, he was injured, and it was a difficult situation for him because I think he knew he had confidence in his ability, but he didn't have an opportunity to really display it. And last year he kind of came into his own where he was healthy, for the entire camp and won the starting job and never looked back from there. And he's always been a great leader and a great kid and good student, just a positive person to be around. So it wasn't a surprise to me that his teammates voted him captain.
On the offensive side, of course, a lot of attention is going to go this year to the quarterback position. You lose Shane McSweeney. You lose an All-American, a first-team All-American, but not many times a coach can say, all right, we lost a first-team All-American. Now we have an All-South Region Player of the Year coming in to replace him. And Justin Sotomayor talk about how, his journey since we last saw him on the field back in 2010.
Well, Justin was in a unique situation where he made a decision to sit last season and come back, for his senior year. So we're real excited about that. What he did in 2010 was remarkable, and we expect big things from him in the fall. I tell you what, the quarterback position itself is unique because Joe Callahan, I tell you this, we might have the 2 best quarterbacks in the country, and we have a great competition going on there between both of those guys. And, Justin, mentally is so quick. Joe has an arm. Joe Callahan can throw the ball 35 yards within a blink of an eye on a line. So, we have 2 players that are just completely outstanding who are going to really coming into camp, competing and making each other better, and it'll be a unique situation there.
And I think a sideways of having a 1 and a 2 quarterback, however it ends up being, is that when you get the second team reps, a lot of times you'll end up going 2 versus 1s as opposed to 1s versus 1s. Your second team defense and your first team defense, they're seeing starting caliber quarterbacks, and that can only help on the defensive side.
Yeah, so as we look at camp, there's going to be, a lot of opportunity for people to get better.
On the wide receiver side, you mentioned some of the wide receivers switching over to defense. Talk about the unselfish nature of some of those athletes who may have been recruited here to Wesley to play offense, but are willing to be unselfish and play on the defensive side to help you out.
Well, Jarrett Morris, was just a really good football player. At any position. He'll probably get some reps on too, but he'll move over to defense, and we're expecting big things from him. And he was our defensive outstanding player of the year for spring, as Michael Kelly, a running back, was outstanding player on offense. So Sean Hopkins moved over. We have a great secondary with Leon Jones and Mike Brandenburg and Derek Bender and Jarrett Williams. There's some great players there, Morgan Taylor. So, we're really comfortable there.
On the defensive line, you obviously lose again an All-American, Chris Mays, maybe the best defensive lineman you've had. That's certainly arguable with a couple of athletes, but it seems like, again, people are going to step in. Devin Hardy, one name that may be ready to go.
Devin, I guess, has kind of played a little bit in Chris's shadows for a couple of years. Certainly not last year. He had a great year. Devin, getting a lot of interest from professional, from NFL teams right now. Devin is, that type of a player. He's 6'3", 285, and run a 4.9. He's just a great football player and just a hard worker on and off the field.
And I'll end it with this. We're talking about the defensive line here. Mike Ward and also Brian Robinson both playing in the Arena Football League. You've got to be proud that, when they're getting announced at these AFL games, it's Mike Ward, Wesley College. Hey, that's got to be a great feeling for you as the leader of this program.
Yeah, and we're real proud of those guys and expect, I was so glad when Mike got the call back to Utah and, was able to score a touchdown a couple weeks ago. And, Brian Robinson may be the best player on the defensive line in the Arena Football right now. So two guys that are having great success and having a lot of fun too.
And I'd be remiss if someone's made it this far watching this interview to talk about the Wesley College golf outing coming up at the beginning of May. Talk about how important it is to this program that you want to see the alumni support and what the golf outing helps support.
Well, I tell you, the golf outing is, it's our 17th year doing it. We get about 130 to 150 guys that come every year, and it's a great way for our alumni to come back. Alumni and friends of football to come back and enjoy the day, spend time with their friends. It's going to support us and helping us fly to California next year. We're going to be able to raise some money for Ben Knapp, the Ben Knapp Foundation, Coach Knapp's son, Ben, who's in rehabilitation right now. So it's going to be a great day, May 4th at Jonathan's Landing at 12 o'clock.